5 years ago, I met someone really amazing. It was a man. He fit all the criteria I was looking for in a person. He was smart, he was good looking, he had nice teeth. He even had a really nice body. Ding, ding, ding. Those are all cookie points. I believe that I found the one. I actually found him. Now, when I was waiting backstage before I came up here, one of the crew members came up to me and asked me about my topic today. I told her that I was going to share my experience of a painful relationship. She looked at me and she asked, "What happened?" I looked at her straight in the eye and I said, "I was abused." Now, just like every normal reaction I would get whenever I say that line, it was a sympathetic look. She said, "I'm so sorry to hear that. How bad was it?" And I said, "It was bad enough that it kind of left scars all over me." "Scars? What scars? I don't see any." She was shocked. "Do you see any scars on me?" "No." "Exactly, you can't. Because all these scars is inside here, in me. This was an emotional abuse." Today, I am here to tell you a fairy tale. But in this fairy tale, it did not end with a happily ever after. I want you to imagine this man I was with for so many years. He was someone I met in church. He was successful. He was an interior designer, just like me. He was an only child, and he loved his parents. He loved his dog. He loved me, and I loved him back. But today, I realize that I am more in love with the man that I imagined than the real person who stood in front of me. Because of that, I held on to every single thing he said. I lived in denial, and I believe that everything he did was his way of portraying his love to me. Here is how he showed me his love. Number one, he told me that no one else in this world will love me but him. That sounds really nice, doesn't it? But no. Okay, I guess in the beginning you could say that it was romantic, but it wasn't. He said he liked petite girls, just like me. He said it didn't matter that I was short. It didn't matter that I was a big eater. It didn't matter that I had a big appetite. Like, seriously, I eat a lot. He even said that he would work harder just so he could buy all the delicious food in the world and give it to me. That was really nice of him to say. But then, I wasn't the kind of girl who needs to stick 24/7 to my significant other. I believe in personal time because being together too much, that is unhealthy. But things change, and it got on to the point where we don't even spend any quality time together anymore. And it worried me. So just like any normal thing a girlfriend would do, I went up to him, I voiced my concerns, and I said, "Hey, you know what? I think we should make some effort in spending time together again." Guess what he said? He counterattacked me. He actually said that I was oversensitive, I was overthinking, I was constricting his freedom, and I should allow him to do whatever he wants. I was puzzled, and then I just kind of let it go, it's just an argument, no big deal. But things got worse when he started throwing degrading statements at me. He said, and I quote, You're short, you're fat, you're ugly. Who would want to when I haven't even grumbled that I'm stuck with someone like you? Do you know that if I step outside, I could get anyone easily who is way better than you? What makes you think that you are so precious that I should stay home and spend time with you? If you think that I'm not spending enough time with you, probably you should start making yourself more interesting so that I will come home often. This. Right now when I think about it, I still feel hurt. For someone who you love to say things like that, and suddenly his mistakes became my problem, and I was the one to blame. We accept the kind of love that we think we deserve. And because of his words, I believe that I was unworthy. I believe that no one else would want me but him. Point number 2. He said he was the most important man in my life. It's normal. When you get married, you will want your husband to say, you know what, I will be the most important man in your life, the rest of your life. But let me tell you something, it was the same thing for me. Both of us, we were very successful in our career. As interior designers, he was far more experienced than me. He was someone I highly looked up to. I would bring my work home and show it to him and, get some advice to make it even better. So in the beginning, it was all right. He would give me constructive criticisms and feedbacks to, add something here and there to make it better. But soon, I started realizing that his feedbacks weren't feedbacks or advices anymore. It became purely criticism. He made it sound like only his work mattered. Only the things that he did was of quality, and everything I did, it was bullshit, it was useless, it was lousy. He even said that, the designs that I made are the work of the children. Can you imagine someone you respected, someone you love, say things like that, Say that your design is pure bullshit, it's not worthy to show to the clients? I was very, very, very proud of my work. And because of his words, my self-esteem dropped all the way down to the ground. He made himself indispensable, where his words were absolutely necessary to me, for me to feel like my work is something that I can present to people. And you know what's the worst part? I actually believe him. I believe every single word he said. I believe that without him, I'm lousy. I believe that without him, I am useless. Without him, that I am nothing. I quit my job. Point number 3. He became Mr. Right. Did you notice that? I said he became Mr. Right, not my Mr. Right. In a sense that his words were the only one that mattered. His words were the only one that was correct. And anything else that he said that was against his word, it should all be rejected because it did not make sense to him. I distinctly remember how I always used to hang out with my friends, and he didn't like it. He told me that I think you should hang out less with your friends because they don't seem good. I don't think they're trustworthy. I think they're a bad influence. You should stop going out with them. And I think that, probably someone who loves you, if they say something like that, it was out of goodwill. It was for a good intention because he loves me, right? He wants the best for me. So I listened to him, but not really. I ignored him. I still went out with my friends. But every time I went out or did something that was against his words, I would come back home to a stone wall. He stopped responding to me. He wouldn't answer me. He gave me a silent treatment, a cold war. And in my defense, I didn't even do anything. The most ridiculous part was that I felt bad. I felt that I was the one to blame because I was the one who started this argument between us because I did not listen to what he said. You know, the more someone tells you about something, the more you tend to believe it. And I started believing that my friends weren't good. I stopped hanging out with them. I rejected them. All for him. The funny thing is, my blood brother, my only brother, he was furious when I said I wanted to get engaged to this man. We had arguments, constant arguments, because he didn't believe in my choice. And in the end, our relationship just fell out. I didn't see him. I didn't see my own brother anymore. I was furious. I was mad. Like, who were you to judge the man that I picked to be with the rest of my life? You are not the one who is spending day and night with him. You are not the one who is interacting with him. Who are you to judge and say that, you know what, he's no good for you? Because of that, I picked the love of my life and I made him my whole world. What I want to say is that this was my fairy tale. He was my first love. And because I wanted it to work out so badly, I believed his way of showing his affection to me. I believed that this was normal. With my experience, I can say that the longer I stay, the worse it becomes. Physical and emotional abuse. 1. Physical abuse, you can see it, you can detect it. You can see it through the scars, the bruises, the tears of the victims, and you can help them out. But with emotional abuse, you can't see it, you can't detect it. It's all inside. And society thinks that, you know what, if you're not happy in a relationship, it's easy. Just get out and leave. But the victims, they are emotionally and mentally crippled. They can't go out by themselves. Last year, we decided to get married, and I truly thank God for that day because I was clearing out my store and I found this old cardboard box that had all my old belongings inside. Inside that box, I found pieces of me. Pieces of me that I broke down myself to allow him into my life. Pieces that I threw away because I thought he was the final piece of the puzzle. Those pieces, I saw that I was happy, I was confident, but most importantly, I was complete. I denied my gut feelings for 5 years, and it ended up with me having scars. 5 years later today, I am full with scars, but I am also more than my scars. I just want to tell everyone out there, if you feel that it's not right, get up and leave. Because one day, you will find the piece of love that will make it seem and make you understand why the others didn't work. Thank you.